Hey everyone, Micah here with E-Bike School, and today I am unboxing the Aventura X electric scooter, or moped, or whatever you call these things. Let's get to it. Yeah, there we go. Now that's a scooter. And by the way, one person watching this video right now is going to win this electric scooter at the end of the video. So make sure you keep watching if you're someone who could really use a way to get around and a pretty cool looking one like this. And how am I gonna get this thing out of here? There are some tools here that make that easy for you. Looks like opening up this cage, at least on the front side here, might be the way to go. I love these cages because you get a bunch of free hardware. There's some seriously heavy-duty wires down here holding this thing on. Probably should have brought some wire cutters. My Leatherman's in my other jeans. Alright, that part of the frame is clear. Let's take some of this loose stuff off before we pull the scooter out. Guessing I'll have to connect this cargo box afterwards. These look like the fenders. I got more wires up here. Alright, I think this ratchet's the last thing holding us in. Oh, it sounded like it. Can I wiggle us free now? Whoa, there we go. Alright, come on out, baby. It's time to play. Oh. It's not still wired in, is it? Is it just real heavy? Oh, yep. Alright, I didn't need that ankle. Whew, we are down. All right, there's a scooter. Here, now it definitely looks like we're missing a few pieces. Guessing those fenders are gonna help make this look a little better. And this looks like the center stand here, plus some tools. Let's get this hairnet off. This looks like the manufacturer's certificate of origin. Let's open up some fenders. So that went in that hole. Things are more or less aligning. Got another fender to put on here. Oh man, this side clicked on much nicer than the other one. There, fenders are on. There's definitely something in here, but I'm guessing that's the mounting hardware. These aren't key-to-like, are they? I'll be impressed if they are. Well, I'll be. It's like some sort of phone holder and some mounting hardware. Guessing these are probably mirrors. Yep. I've probably missed a couple pieces somewhere, but I'll find those. I always do. All right, let's skedaddle. What do you guys say? Is there like an unlock here? Run. Guessing the batteries aren't actually connected. Or battery, as in this case there's just the one. Yep. Alright. Plug in the battery. Now let's try this again. Run. Nothing's happening. What am I missing? Oh. Alright. There's an air switch. Alright. Third time's the charm. Oh, now we got lights. There it is. All right, I'll see you guys on the road. And I'm off on my new electric Vespa. I mean, my new Aventura X EV29. Okay, obviously it's not a real Vespa, but it only costs $3,295 compared to the real electric Vespa that costs nearly $8,000. So I'm pretty happy with that kind of a price difference, especially since for me, the really cool part here is just how fun and retro it looks. And in my opinion, this type of electric scooter just makes total sense. I am incredibly pro scooter. I love electric scooters. I don't even own a car. The way my wife and I get around probably 95% of the time is on an electric scooter. It's just such a fun way to get around a city. And in my opinion, it's so much more practical. You know, I like full-size electric motorcycles too. I own a Livewire S2 Del Mar. It is super fun. It's powerful, it's fast, it's great. But when it comes to getting around a city, scooters are just more efficient. And the fact that you can get one that looks so cool and retro like this makes it even more fun, in my opinion. I mean, between the storage in the trunk back here, the bag hook, which honestly, like on my main everyday driver scooter, I don't even have a rear trunk here. I don't have a cargo box. Most of the stuff I either store under the seat or on the bag hook, and you can fit a lot of stuff on here. So for utility, for getting around, they're great. You can fit 2 people on these things. It's a blast and a half. So I am incredibly pro scooter. For me, running everyday trips around town is just so much more fun like this. Sure, I'm an e-bike guy and I will always love my electric bicycles, but there are times you either want to go faster, or you want more storage, or you just want the extra comfort of a big plush seat and motorcycle-style suspension, or the benefit of getting taken somewhat more seriously by cars on the road, since you're generally accepted to be in the lane. People see a motorcycle as a vehicle, whereas they unfortunately see us cyclists as something like invaders in what they consider to be their space. I'm not saying it's right, but it is what happens in many drivers' minds, even if it's subconsciously for many of them. So being on a scooter or a motorcycle just seems to gain you a little more acceptance from drivers. However, one area where I do wish there actually was more of a division between cars and scooters or motorcycles is in parking lots. Every time I come back to the US, I am always amazed at how we're expected to park in car-sized parking spots like this. It just seems like such a waste of space, not to mention that it understandably annoys car drivers who think they found an empty spot only to realize our tiny ride is hogging the whole thing. I just can't do this, I'm sorry. I'm going to park like we do back home, where you basically just pull up on the sidewalk or otherwise on a curb somewhere that is out of the way, and I emphasize out of the way of pedestrians and wheelchairs and other people who share that space. Here, I'm just parking at the bike rack, making sure I don't block it for bikes, and this just makes a lot more sense for everyone, since instead of taking up a whole car space, you take up space that's more size appropriate. Plus, it's more convenient for me, since I'm right there and I always have the best parking. Again, obviously this only works when you've got a wide enough space to do this respectfully, but that's how it's done all over the world. Hopefully one day the US can join the developed world and install more motorcycle-sized spots, or just accept this kind of parking. So now let's talk about performance. The speed of the Aventura X EV29 is probably slower than many of you would like. It's rated for 30 miles per hour, about 48 kilometers per hour, but I find I get it up closer to about 33 or 34 miles an hour. For city use or around the neighborhood, that's usually fine for me, but if you're planning to take it on faster roads, you can feel a bit like a rolling hazard. But the EV29 is only a 2.9 kilowatt scooter. There's a faster version that can do 50 miles an hour or about 80 kilometers per hour, and that's probably what you'd want if you have faster roads than a typical city with 25 to 30 mile an hour speed limits. For me, I definitely say that the 30 miles per hour can be limiting, but then again, I'm mostly sticking to neighborhood and urban riding where that speed is acceptable, and for me, part of the charm is that it's just a more relaxing ride on a scooter like this. With the old school vibes that this scooter gives off, it's fun to just relax and cruise into that old-timey goodness.
I met her on a Sunday, rolling down the block, powder blue paint and that chrome that pops, quiet like a whisper, smooth like cream. She don't burn gas, she runs on self-esteem. Oh, she got that spark. Don't need no rod to leave a mark. She's got a trunk for my groceries, snacks in the back, mirror shine chrome and a seat built for class. She ain't in no hurry, just taking her time.
Tops out at 30 downhill with the tailwind behind. Ooh, she got that spark, like a milkshake cruising through City Park.
Alright, let me give you a walk around real quick of the scooter here. You can see it definitely has that retro vibe that I just love. There's that Springer fork there. It has hydraulic brakes, so while it looks retro, it's got a lot more modern parts on it. Keeping with that retro theme are all of the switches and controls up here. So we've got our turn signals, our high-low beams, our horn here. On the other side, we've got our run-stop button and our park button. There are those nice round retro mirrors as well, which actually work quite well. You know, they don't vibrate all over the place. One way that you can tell the difference between a cheap scooter and a better one are the mirrors. The cheaper ones have those mirrors that are loose and just vibrate while you're riding. These stay nice and rock solid. It's got our bag clip down here, super important. I love these things. Any scooter that doesn't have a bag clip, I feel like is a naked scooter missing something critical. The seat is not real leather. It's some sort of like, you know, fake leather. Sometimes they call this vegan leather. Not exactly sure what it is, but it certainly feels nice and comfortable. It's got a good amount of cushion to it here, you can see. So definitely got the comfort. Of course, we've got our turn signals here. Here is our motor down here. I believe this is 3,000 watts, if I'm not mistaken. In the back, we've got our cargo box here. Right now it's full of all manner of cameras, tripods, batteries, microphones, everything, but it's actually fairly large. I fit 2 shopping bags in there earlier. There's this other sort of hidden storage compartment over here, and this one's not huge, but it does go fairly deep. Like, you can see how far my hand goes in there. A little bit on the other side as well. And so you can certainly get, you know, a water bottle, sunglasses, hat, gloves, that kind of stuff in here as well. So it's nice having one more little locked storage. I do like that it has both a center stand and a side stand here. Generally I use the center stand anytime I'm on something unstable. Like here, it's just this like random asphalt patch that's all like pockmarked and not flat or even, or if I'm parking on grass or gravel. If I'm just on the asphalt, I can usually get away with using that side stand, especially if it's like a nice poured slab of concrete or just, you know, a good parking lot. But it's nice to have both options so that you've got different ways to park depending on how stable the ground is. One thing I forgot to show you is here, this is the charging port if you're leaving the battery in. That's the more convenient way to charge it, but let's say you're parking on the street and you want to bring your battery up to an apartment, you can certainly do that and charge off of the scooter as well. But my favorite thing here is just how nice and retro looking this thing is. From this big front Vespa style shield, even the little grill over the horn here is just super nice. Yeah, let's take a look at this under seat area. So we've got our air switch here. This is like a circuit breaker that just shuts the whole thing off if you're going to be leaving it for a while. There's a small little storage area here that you could fit, you know, your wallet or something small in there, and a little bit of storage here for paperwork, though I shoved the paperwork down here. It does come with a manufacturer's certificate of origin, the checklist of everything that's been inspected, all that kind of stuff, so you can, you know, register this thing if you want to do it. User and assembly manual. This is the charger box that I've just been keeping in here as well. It's got a 3 amp charger, so this is a 20 amp hour battery, so it's going to take about 7-ish hours or so to charge it fully. It's basically an overnight charge. Just runs off of a typical 120 volt outlet like you'd have at home. And this is our battery here. So this is the single battery version, though you can get a second battery if you want to double up your range, or you can just get the 2 battery model, and it comes with 2 batteries right off the bat. It's got this connector here. You just twist that, pop it off, and then your battery comes out. It's not terribly heavy. I'd guess maybe, I don't know, 20-ish pounds, maybe a tiny bit more. Connector just goes on like that. There is a little battery gauge here if you want to check from there, but you also have the display on your handlebars that tells you what your battery's at. And I like how it is all nicely covered here. So if you just want to put, you know, a few small things here, you can stick it here without getting down into the battery compartment. The digital display has everything you'd expect. You've got your speed, your mileage here about the trip and the odometer, your battery readout, and then it tells you what your light situation is, whether you got your high beams on, your blinkers, of course, that sort of thing. Now, of course, there is some legal concern here, right? Because every state classifies these things differently. Depending where you are, it may be a moped class vehicle, it may be a scooter, it may be a motorcycle, so you have to check your local state laws. The good news is it does come with a VIN down here. You can pop the cover off and you've got a frame VIN right there, so you can take it to the DMV and register it if you need to. The advantage is a lot of states, you might need to register it, but you might not necessarily need insurance. You might get like a 2 or 3 year tag. I know a lot of states are like that. A lot of states have different rules that give advantages to vehicles like this. I know when I lived in Boston for a year, mopeds, if they went up to 30 miles an hour, could ride in bike lanes, which, it's a bit controversial. I rarely did it unless there was no one in the bike lane and it was a great way to get past traffic. But depending on your state, you may have lots of cool little advantages like that, whether it's where you can use it, lower cost for registration, lack of insurance, that sort of thing. So check your local state laws on that. So I started installing this cool phone holder with a built-in USB charger, and I think it's a neat addition, but it just takes away from sort of the retro vibe of the scooter, so I ended up taking it off in the end. If you use this as an everyday commuter, I'm sure it's nice, especially for, getting that navigation on your phone, but it just doesn't match like the old school Vespa style, so I ended up not using mine. All right, now it is time to give away this electric scooter. Just like I said at the beginning of this video, someone watching right now, maybe you, is going to win this scooter. A huge thanks to Aventura X for making this possible, for their generosity and taking part in my e-bikes for good giveaway. Now, I started this giveaway program a few years ago, and the goal is to give away a free e-bike or e-scooter at the end of every one of my videos. They've gone to a lot of deserving people, and here's how this works. The whole point is I want to find people who need a leg up in life, that they don't have a way to get around, they don't have that transportation independence they need, and an e-bike or an e-scooter would help them get back on their feet and give them the mobility that they need. If that sounds like you, then I want you to head on over to my website, EbikeSchool.com/ebikesforgood. There's a web form there you can fill out. You don't need to pay anything. You don't need to sign up for anything. Just enter your information there, and I will go through the deserving entrants, and there will be a random drawing among all of those, and one US-based person, because there's limitations on freighting these things, one US-based person will win this electric scooter. I think it is going to be a huge benefit to someone. Like you guys have seen, you can ride this around all over the place. It is street legal, so you can get it registered. You can use it like an actual motor vehicle. If you live in more laid back, beach community, island community, that sort of thing, you can probably get away with not registering it and just treating it more like a moped or a motorized bike. Again, check your laws. I'm not telling you to do anything illegal, but there are different regulations, different mores, different bike culture in different places. So there are a lot of possibilities for this, but I know it is going to be super useful for someone who doesn't have a way to get around, and this would give them that independence they need. So again, huge thank you to Aventura X for making this possible. Very generous of the company to help me give away this scooter. If it sounds like this would be helpful to you, head on over to EbikeSchool.com/ebikesforgood. Let me know your situation, and hopefully you'll be the randomly drawn entrant to win this scooter. And now it's time to announce the winner of the e-bikes for good giveaway from my last video. And the randomly selected deserving entrant is Robert C. So congratulations, Robert. I'll be reaching out to you, and I'm excited to send that trike out to you from my previous video. I hope you find it helpful for getting around. And last but not least, it is time to announce the book giveaway from my last video. And the randomly selected commenter who will win a free copy of one of my books is Hello Soul. So congratulations, just let me know which one of my books you'd like and where to send it. You can choose from my books DIY Lithium Battery, DIY Solar Power, The Ultimate Do-It-Yourself E-Bike Guide, or my latest book, The Electric Bike Manifesto. And anyone else who would like a chance to win a free copy of one of my books, all you have to do is put a comment down below on this video, and hopefully you will be the randomly selected commenter at the end of my next video. And if you don't want to wait that long to hopefully win a free copy of one of my books, you can always find them on Amazon. Alright, thanks for watching everybody. I'll see you here next time.
Thanks for watching,